Right now, another winter storm on its way to southern Wisconsin. We'll take a look at the latest radar and how much snow we can expect. Also, with more snow on the way, why commuters need to be aware of where they park on Madison streets. And later, after receiving multiple federal citations for misconduct, what Rock County officials are saying about a Janesville nursing home. You're watching News 3 now at 6. The shovels and snow blowers were back out earlier today after another round of snow fell in the Madison area overnight. And we are going to see a whole lot more winter weather in the days ahead. It is another taste of what we can expect later tonight into tomorrow morning. Another winter storm projected to make its way through southern Wisconsin. And we have team coverage with the latest on the upcoming storm, what drivers need to be aware of when plows are out on city streets and roads. And let's start with a check of your first one forecast with some timing on all this. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Yeah, this is going to be a major winter storm, and it's going to be followed by bitterly cold air as we head into next week. We do have a first warn weather alert day in the forecast for tomorrow into Saturday. This is for heavy snow of 7 to 12 inches or more. It'll be very windy with significant blowing and drifting snow, especially Friday night into Saturday when the snow becomes a little lighter and fluffier. But the bulk of the snow is going to fall during the day tomorrow. Winter storm warnings go into effect at midnight for areas west of Lone Rocks. From Dane County and areas to the south and west, they start at 3 a.m. and areas north and east of Dane County, they start at 6 a.m. They run until noon Saturday. About 9 to 12 inches of snow expected over much of southern Wisconsin. Maybe a little bit more the closer you get to Lake Michigan because of lake enhancement there. Maybe a little bit less north of the Dells, but you know these numbers could fluctuate by a couple of inches one way or another, and it's still not going to make any difference as far as your impact is concerned. Snow starting to show up on Doppler track across far western Iowa. Probably won't reach us until midnight or a little bit thereafter. By early tomorrow morning, we're probably looking at 1 to 2, maybe locally 3 inches of snow by about 7 or 8 a.m. Current temperatures just below freezing. Madison right now 29 degrees, 27 degrees in Mineral Point. Here in Dane County, 27 in Belleville, and 28 degrees in Oregon. Then we have a first warn weather alert day in the forecast, or actually days, beginning on Sunday morning through Wednesday morning for bitterly cold temperatures. Wind chills could drop to 35 below zero with actual air temperatures in the morning between 0 and 15 below zero. So it's a 1-2 punch. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy. No snow expected this evening. Temperatures dropping to about 22 by around 10 p.m. But again, the bulk of the snow starts to arrive after midnight tonight. I'll time that out for you in more detail in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Right now, several communities are taking no chances with tomorrow's storm. Snow emergencies have been declared all across southern Wisconsin. Here in Dane County, all non-essential government operations and services will be closed tomorrow. The county's Emergency Operations Center will continue to monitor the storm, and essential public safety services will, of course, be open. For more information on the other city snow emergencies, you can head to channel3000.com. As the snow emergency continues tonight, overnight alternate side parking rules remain in effect citywide. City officials behind the plows want to make sure your car is in the right spot so plows can get through and do their jobs. Our Catherine Merck joins us live with more of what the city needs from people as they park. Catherine?
Well, Eric, some of the cars behind me here might have to move or else they can pay the price for the city to be able to do their jobs. If you park where the city is trying to move the snow,
you can be ticketed and towed.
Brian Johnson with the City of Madison Streets Division says the price to violate winter parking rules has gone up.
Because the towing fees as well have been raised going into 2024.
For those who live downtown,
they are a little inconvenient.
Some of the rules make it difficult to park your car.
Especially if there's an event. I mean, I live over here by the Sylvie, so if there's an event, it can be pretty packed around my place.
When you're on one side and then the plows come through, you get snowed in on that side, and then you have to kind of shovel your way out of the snow and then park on the other.
However,
you know, as long as you can stay on top of it,
you can be a big help in making sure the city can continue moving right along.
So we can keep all of these streets wide and safe throughout the whole winter season, because we got a lot of winter left, and it's definitely here now.
There are resources on the city's website available to help navigate some of these parking rules. You can find that on our website right now at channel3000.com. Reporting live in downtown Madison, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. Let's get a current look at road conditions out there. Right now, things are looking pretty good on the major roadways, most of them being labeled as good winter driving, at least for now. Meanwhile, more than 120 school districts have announced they'll close tomorrow, giving students an extra long weekend to enjoy the snow if they want to get outside in this stuff. Some of the districts closed tomorrow include Lodi, Madison, Monroe, Oregon, Sun Prairie, and Verona, and many more. Be aware also, some districts like Baraboo will have classes virtually And you can find a full list of schools, public and private, and their status for tomorrow at our website, channel3000.com. And make sure you also download our First Warn Forecast weather app before the storm hits. And with it, you'll get the latest radar, traffic conditions. You can also find up-to-date information on closings and delays as well. The app is free. It's in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. Next at 6, the Wisconsin Supreme Court says it will not reconsider its ruling to draw new legislative maps. This after a Republican lawmaker requested that the order be put on hold. The court ruled 4-3 to reject that request. Now, back in December, the court said the current boundaries are unconstitutional because they aren't contiguous. Tomorrow is the deadline for parties in the lawsuit to submit new maps. A Janesville nursing home received 4 federal citations more than a year ago now, and city officials and family members of residents are calling for something to be done. Our Maddie Heimsch set out to investigate.
I spoke with several family members of past and present Rock Haven residents who told me they regret sending their loved ones to the facility due to poor caregiving and misconduct. The 33-page document from the Federal Department of Health and Human Services reports threats, intimidation, and financial extortion of residents. One family member told me her mother died in the facility, but she believes with proper care, it could have been prevented.
And there's just different things that just did not seem unprofessional, and a lot of questions that are left unanswered.
The 2022 report includes allegations of staff members threatening to drop a resident off at a homeless shelter and administrative staff allegedly telling other staff not to report misconduct to county officials. The Rock County administrator denied comment today, and the Rock Haven administrator did not respond for comment. In Janesville, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Madison police say a 15-year-old girl was arrested after beating one of her classmates at La Follette High School yesterday. Officers were called to the school just before 2. They say a student was at their desk waiting for class to start when the 15-year-old attacked her. A teacher stepped in to break up the fight, and both the victim and teacher were injured. The girl was taken into custody at her home on Madison's north side. In Sun Prairie today, family and friends are remembering the 2 young boys who lost their lives after falling into a retention pond last Friday. This afternoon, a vigil was held for 6-year-old Antoine and 8-year-old Legend. There, people lit candles and said prayers at the pond. After the prayers, several balloons were released into the air, including a number 6 and a number 8 balloon symbolizing the ages of each of those young boys. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe page has been created to help the family cover a memorial, funeral costs, and any additional support needed. So far, it has raised more than $83,000. If you'd like to contribute, we have a link to that GoFundMe at channel3000.com. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, we head back to Iowa after yesterday's contentious debate between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. After the break, how voters in the Hawkeye State are reacting as the caucus creeps closer. Stay with us.
Watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After a serious truck crash, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking cases and gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your logo can identify your company, inspire your customers, and energize your team. We're 4imprint, and we can help your logo create moments that matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you equipped with quality tools and project supplies because we get you. Whether you're a hardworking pro or an ambitious DIYer, we get you what you need to get the job done. Right now, save on these 4 packs of DeWalt batteries, $179. $10 off these 250-foot rolls of indoor wire. Plus, trade in any used power or hand tool for exclusive trade-in savings on select DeWalt tools and accessories. We get you what you need because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, Powered by News 3 Now. Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The 2024 presidential election quickly approaching. Voters will start casting ballots as early as next week. That's when Iowans will get together for their caucus. Political reporter Will Keneally is in the state ahead of the caucuses and caught up with some of those voters.
We're here in Iowa following some presidential campaigns as they make their final push to drive turnout ahead of next week's caucuses.
The next president of the United States, Nikki Haley.
As some of the Iowa voters that we spoke to today say it's important to be able to see these presidential contenders up close.
Like, it's such a unique and important, really cool experience, especially for, like, you know, an everyday voter. Like, it feels down home. It feels like that's how, you know, voting is supposed to happen, where you're supposed to meet the person that you're actually, like, voting for.
Now, she and her family drove about an hour to come see Nikki Haley at this event outside of Des Moines. And stay with us on Monday as we have full coverage of the caucuses on the ground here in Iowa. Reporting from Ankeny, Iowa, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
And still ahead when it comes to talking about the weather, our meteorologists make it look easy, but it actually takes a lot of time and preparation. After the break, we'll take you behind the scenes on how our weather team prepares for these winter storms so they can present it on air. Plus, we could be in for a lot of snow tomorrow. Gary returns his complete look at the forecast when we come back.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's right, a 25-cent fuel saver for every $50 this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
A concert experience you won't want to miss. It's the Commodores. Performing live Saturday, February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. 70 million albums sold, 7 #1 hits. The Grammy Award-winning Commodores. February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
The bag is back at Menards. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag, from household items and pet toys to power tools and even your favorite snacks. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag. This deal won't last long. Hurry in to get your bag and see how much you can save. Sale ends January 14th.
Save big money at Menards.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's right, a 25-cent fuel saver for every $50 this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, we've been talking an awful lot about the weather this week. Our First Warn weather team has been working hard behind the scenes to keep you up to date on what's coming. Ever wondered how they do it? Well, our Braden Ross spent the day with Chief Meteorologist Gary Keneally and meteorologist Alex Harrington to find out.
You're used to seeing your First Warn weather team here in the studio, but they actually spend most of their time here in the weather office.
So what's the day in the life of a meteorologist here in the First Warn weather team? It doesn't start at
2 o'clock when you get in here to the station.
Our meteorologists will be the first to tell you they pretty much eat, sleep, and breathe weather.
Even the Weather Service is saying 50. A lot of people think we just come in 5 minutes before the newscast. We're on the air. I mean, literally, last night I was up between about midnight and 3 in the morning, updating the forecast for Kelly so he could hit the ground running for the morning show.
It takes time to predict the weather. Gary and Alex look at a number of different national and international weather models to get things right.
That's the European computer model, it's Canadian model, the U.S. model.
We all went to school again for this. This is a homegrown forecast by a team that knows what they're doing.
And the forecast is just the start.
Hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Alex Harrington with
those first warn weather alerts you get on your phone, that's the weather team sending them out. All the graphics you see on air, yep, that's all them.
It's one thing to know the science, the meteorology, you know, all the stuff that we look at to make the forecast. It's another thing to be able to put together graphics that, you know, talk about the alert days, for example.
Speaking of alert days, the first warn weather team decides on that too.
Alert day is really just a period of time where we want folks to know that the weather could be impactful to their lives, to their day-to-day activities, and the weather could be dangerous.
As for accuracy, well, I asked Gary about those rare days when he's just a little off.
I mean, that comes with the territory. You know, these, you know, if we're pretty close, I don't worry about it. If we're significantly off, then you have to be able to answer it too. You know, I mean, if a forecast is bad, the forecast is bad, and you have to be able to explain it.
And Gary has returned to do just that. You guys are so passionate about the weather. That's, you know, and keeping people safe is important. We appreciate that. Man, it's been a tough week for you guys.
Yeah, and where was I yesterday?
I don't want to, nobody wants to know, Gary.
I had my colonoscopy yesterday. I mean, that just shows you, you know, what we have to deal with.
Move on with the forecast, Gary.
Well, 3 things you need to know in the forecast beyond that is that a winter storm is brewing for tomorrow night, and into Saturday. There's going to be considerable blowing and drifting snow as well as heavy snowfall. Then we turn bitterly cold beginning Sunday morning and lasting through Wednesday morning of next week. So with all that fresh snow on the ground, those temperatures are going to drop, and the winds will remain brisk as well. And then we could see some flurries or snow shower chances later next week, but temperatures will stay well below normal. First warn weather alert day for tomorrow and tomorrow night into Saturday. That's for snowfall of 7 to 12 inches or more. Very windy conditions. That could lead to considerable blowing or drifting snow. There are blizzard warnings already in effect across parts of Iowa and Minnesota. Winter storm warnings here. And the snow is still out to the west of us, just moving into western parts of Iowa. So it'll probably reach us around midnight or a little bit thereafter. Future track beginning at midnight. There's the snow still back in Iowa. But watch how quickly it spreads to the north and east. 3 a.m. already just south of Madison. By 6 a.m., pretty much most of southern Wisconsin seeing occasional light snow. The snow picks up in intensity during the morning. You can see those bands of heavier snow. Hard to predict exactly where each of those bands will be. Temperatures right around freezing, so it'll be a little stickier snow. Not as sticky as what we saw this last storm system, but with temperatures around freezing, there'll be at least some stickiness to it. But the winds will also be picking up as well. Very strong east to northeasterly winds will start shifting around to the northeast and then eventually the north. Notice by tomorrow evening around this time, temperatures right around freezing. Those winds out of the northeast, perhaps gusting to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Then those winds start shifting around to the north. The temperatures start to drop. We see a finer and fluffier snow as we head into later tomorrow night. The snow starts breaking up, becoming a little more intermittent or showery rather than a continuous snow. But it will continue off and on through the day on Saturday, and the winds will continue strong as they shift to the northwest. So now by 9 a.m., temperature is already in the low 20s. We get to noontime, they're in the upper teens. We get to late afternoon, they're in the middle teens. So you can see the trend here. Total snowfall, we're looking at about 9 to 12 inches through much of southern Wisconsin, maybe a little bit more east of Madison, especially closer to Lake Michigan, maybe a little bit less north of the Dells, but it's hard to fine-tune that to a county or two. And then it's the winds. This begins early on Friday morning, 12:30. Winds, okay. We get to, by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, notice those winds, now 25 to 35 miles per hour. By noontime, we're starting to see winds gusting to 40 to 45 miles per hour. By late afternoon, we're starting to see some 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts. That continues into tomorrow night. Those winds remain strong. We go into Saturday. Those winds start to come down a little bit, but still very brisk. And again, that snow at that time is going to be a little fluffier, so it'll be blown around a lot more. Those wind gusts around 35 miles an hour Saturday, and then they start to drop Saturday evening. But that's when the temperatures drop. So we have first warn weather alert days from Sunday morning through Wednesday morning for bitterly cold temperatures from 0 to 15 below zero in the morning, and wind chills in the morning as cold as 35 below zero. Already, wind chill watches out to the west of us, wind chill warnings farther to the west. Take a look at future track wind chills beginning Saturday noon. They're already below zero. By this time, they're close to 10 below zero. By midnight, they're down to about 20 below zero, and by early Sunday morning, they're down to almost 30 below zero. Winter storm warnings begin at midnight for our western viewers, begin at 3 a.m. Madison and Dane County and areas to the south and west, 6 a.m. areas north and east of Madison. They run through noon on Saturday. Look for a low of 21 tonight. Snow develops overnight with an inch or two by morning. Tomorrow during the day, about 3 to 6 inches of additional snowfall. Very windy. Winds could gust to 50 miles per hour, high at 32. First warn 7 to 10 day forecast. 23 in the morning on Saturday, then falling temperatures. Sunday, the high at 3. Wind chills well below zero all day. Martin Luther King Day, bitterly cold. That will continue into next week. Temperatures rebound a little bit, but still well below normal through next weekend.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin men's hoops, #1 in the Big Ten standings. What Greg Gard calls the mark of a really good team and why his team has it. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do you feel stuck in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. And right now, we can insulate your home for as little as $99 per month.
USA Insulation.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Thanks to Skyrizi, I'm on my way with clearer skin. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
The landscape of fitness was bleak. Toxic instructors, shady scammers, and Bispo Bakes. Mother Fitness was angry.
Megan the Stallion.
Hello, my hot girl. Enough of this toxic nastiness. So she took her hotties to the judgment-free zone. Welcome to Planet Fitness, where everybody can work out in their own way.
Listen to Mother Fitness. Join for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Where are my legs?
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love. And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day.
All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Since offices started in the 80s, we've been cheering on the true champions of Milwaukee, you and yours. We've helped thousands of injured victims get the compensation they deserve, celebrated our sports teams through ups and downs, and connected in the community by working together to make things better. We've been on this path together for 35 plus years. Our slogan says it all. Let's keep rising together.
Don't look now, but the silent assassin himself has Wisconsin alone at the top of the Big Ten standings after last night's win at Ohio State. And as expected, on the road in conference play, it was more gritty than pretty. The latter, though, came from Max Klesman and his 18 second-half points against the Buckeyes. But the best part about this team, being the high scorer doesn't matter as long as UW gets the win.
It's the mark of a really, really good team when I don't get consumed with having to get one guy going. Just take advantage of what's there, be a multi-dimensional player, share the ball, and as long as Wisconsin is having positive outcomes, that's all they don't care who's the leading scorer. Just want to make sure we're have the leading score at the end as a team.
After nearly a month off the ice, the Badger women didn't miss a beat. Wisconsin outscored Merrimack 12-2 to earn them a sweep in their first series in the new year. But it wasn't as easy as they made it look. Mark Johnson's squad had to shake off a little rust in the first couple of minutes. But now, as they head back into WCHA play, this group says their legs are back to game shape.
Pushing the cobwebs off a little bit. We had a great week of practice leading up to the games, and so it's just about finding ourselves again, finding our team identity again, and I think we're at an even better point than we were last week. The really cool thing about this group is how we progress with each game and with each weekend.
And after 24 seasons in New England, Bill Belichick and the Patriots have parted ways, and he'll leave the franchise as one of the best to ever do it. During his time there, he won 17 division titles, 9 conference championships, made 8 Super Bowl appearances, and won 6 Lombardi trophies.
Had a vision of, building a winner, building a championship football team here, and that's exceeded my wildest dreams and expectations. There's so many fond memories and thoughts that I think about the Patriots, and I'll always be a Patriot. I look forward to coming back here, but at this time, we're gonna move on.
Wow, what a week for coaches. Saban,
crazy.
Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, and speaking of coaches, the silent assassin. I love the graphic, by the way. Big win on the road. Now
Huge.
to get ready for Northwestern, who's no pushover.
Yeah, well, before Saturday's showdown, Tyler Wall and I played a little game of Madden in this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. And welcome into this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. I'm Zach Hanley, he's Tyler Wall, and today we're going to play some Madden. You any good?
I'm not too great at it, honestly.
Okay, so maybe I have a chance.
On 4th and 5. They're going to try and throw.
Honestly, bad. Let's go. You had it right there. 54 seconds. Ball on the 12. For the wheel. I'm back. Catch.
Yep. Good defense. Here we go. Another chance.
So off goes Love on his cross.
I'm not going to try to block
it. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here.
Kickers, man. Rookies.
Yeah, that was a poor show.
Did you want a disclaimer that you guys are PS5 guys playing on an Xbox?
Xbox, yeah. We kept pressing the wrong buttons. Nobody scored. It was ugly.
It was ugly. All right, speaking of ugly, it's coming.
Yeah, snow's still out in western Iowa. It'll take a little while to get here, probably a little after midnight. Winter storm warnings go into effect tomorrow morning and last through noon on Saturday. Snowfall amounts 9 to 12 inches most areas. A little bit less maybe north of the Dells, a little bit more east of Madison.
We'll keep you posted, folks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening, and we'll be back here tonight at 10.